Arrival, Denis Villeneuve's 2016 first contact drama, uses its fantastical premise to tell a very human story.
Memory is a strange thing. It doesn't work like I thought it did. We are so bound by time, by its order.
Rather than whisking us away to a far-off galaxy, the film instead stays close to home and unpacks one of our oldest technologies, written communication. Arrival analyzes what it really means to understand one another, and how figuring that out could be the only thing that could save us all. This is The Total Take, where we break down the most analyzable films and TV shows of all time through visual storytelling, writing, world, symbolism, and impact. Now, let's take a deeper look at Arrival, a film whose messages are more relevant now than ever.
But now I'm not so sure I believe in beginnings and endings. There are days that define your story beyond your life, like the day they arrived.
Our first category is the writing, the originality, inventiveness, and insight within the script. What is the piece's true takeaway? Screenwriter Eric Heisserer adapted Arrival's story from Ted Chiang's short story, Story of Your Life, fleshing it out to feature length and bringing the heptapods, the seven-limbed aliens, down to Earth, literally. In 2016, Heisserer told Deadline, "The greatest change that I had to make was really to have the heptapods show up at our front door. Have it be a first contact scenario where they've landed on Earth. That generated a lot of conflict and tension that helped drive the story forward, dramatically speaking." He also sought to open up the story's conversation around free will a bit more. Both the short story and the film question what it really means to have free will. But the film brings in the idea of choice in a different, more central way.
If you could see your whole life from start to finish, would you change things?
The film follows linguist Dr. Louise Banks and scientist Ian Donnelly as they attempt to help the government communicate with the giant, mysterious pods that have popped up around the Earth. A major theme of the film is the utility of taking time to think things through instead of impulsively jumping into action and assuming the worst.
We have to consider the idea that our visitors are prodding us to fight among ourselves until only one faction prevails.
There's no evidence of that.
The military automatically assumes that the aliens are here to cause harm and want to strike first before even figuring out what is actually going on. This hostility, unsurprisingly, doesn't lead to effective communication.
If all I ever gave you was a hammer,
everything's a nail.
And Louise is in fact chosen to attempt to make contact because her impulse is just the opposite. When Weber tells her he's going to ask a different linguist to come work on the project instead, because she refuses to jump on board with their matter over mind approach, she tells him to ask the other linguist the translation for war in Sanskrit. Upon their next meeting, he realizes that they need someone like Louise who doesn't have such a single-track focus on destruction.
Gaveston. He says it means an argument. What do you say it means?
A desire for more cows.
Pack your bags.
The heart of the film is the idea that proper communication is the basis for everything. Every connection we have, be it with ourselves, other humans, or giant seven-limbed aliens. It also reminds us just how difficult communication really is. It's such an integral part of our everyday lives, it's easy to forget just how complex language is.
We need to clarify the difference between a specific you and a collective you. We don't want to know why Joe Alien is here. We want to know why they all landed.
Conversing isn't just about throwing words back and forth. There's so much minutia involved in truly grasping what someone is trying to say, or getting across your own ideas.
Language is the foundation of civilization. It is the glue that holds the people together. It is the first weapon drawn in a conflict.
A key aspect of the heptapods' language, and their experience of time as a whole, is that it's non-linear. They don't experience life as a process of traveling from point A to B to C in time as we do, but instead face everything at once, past, present, and future. The timeline of the film is left a bit ambiguous at first, but eventually we come to realize that learning the heptapods' language has changed how Louise experiences time as well. She now sees time circularly as they do, and what we thought were flashbacks in the opening of the film are actually flash forwards into the future.
If you learn it when you really learn it, you begin to perceive time the way that they do.
so you can see what's to come.
This leads to the big question of free will. Louise's daughter Hannah dies young of an incurable disease, and we realize that Louise knew this would happen before she even gave birth, because she was already simultaneously experiencing that future. The film posits that the strength of choice of free will here comes from knowing that things will end badly, and choosing to do what you were always meant to do anyways, because the journey is worth it.
Despite knowing the journey and where it leads, I embrace it, and I welcome every moment of it.
We also see this play out with Abbott, one of the heptapods, who dies to save Louise and Ian from an explosion set off by the military. Because Abbott experiences time circularly, he always knew that he was going to die, and he made the choice to save them knowing how it would end for him. With so much going on in the world and our lives, it can be difficult to find the time or energy to eat better, no matter how much you might want to. Factor makes it easy to have a good meal ready to go in 2 minutes without having to worry about prep or cooking. With so many things on my metaphorical plate, it can be hard to carve out the time to put good things on my real one. Factor allows me to have meals featuring lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole food ingredients, and healthy fats. Crafted by chefs and designed by dietitians, delivered directly to my door. I've especially been loving the spicy sweet potatoes and peanut sauce with coconut rice and miso roasted green beans. Factor has something for you whatever your goals: high protein, Mediterranean, ready-to-eat salads, and more across 100 rotating meals every week. Their meals are always fresh, never frozen, and are ready in 2 minutes, so you never have to waste time thinking about prep, cooking, or cleanup. We love using Factor, and if you're ready to make your own mealtime so much easier, head to factor.com/thetake50off and use code thetake50off to get 50% off your first Factor box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. Offers only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Make healthier eating easy with Factor. Now let's take a look at symbolism. Does the film have a rich and original system of symbols, and can it work as a parable on multiple layers? Circles are a major motif in the film. The heptapod's language is circular, matching their understanding of time, with the past, present, and future all occurring at once. The circles are also inky and hazy, much like Louise's experience of living becomes as she begins seeing time more like them.
It's the theory that the language you speak determines how you think, and
Yeah, it affects how you see everything.
In this frame, the future has already happened just as much as we imagine the past to, allowing her to cycle through time in both directions, like when she flashes forward to get General Shang's phone number.
You're the reason for this unification.
your private number, General, I don't know your private number.
Now you know.
The number 12 pops up throughout the film. Hannah dies at age 12. There are 12 heptapod ships that have split their message for human into 12 pieces. And 12 is, of course, very connected to our understanding of time. 12 months in a year, 12 hours on a clock. This feeds into the idea that everything is connected through time. Screens separating us and breaking down our communication is a pervasive theme of the film. We see humans trying, and continually failing, to communicate with one another through screens, disconnected heads fearfully railing against each other and stomping towards destruction. Louise's conversations with the heptapods are just the opposite, up close and personal. Because there's no intermediary between them, they're able to more effectively begin to understand one another. A major element of the film is the idea of the difference between a weapon and a tool, and how what really makes the difference is how you use it. In the film, this weapon isn't an earth-destroying laser or bomb that the military fears, but the gift of language.
It's not a weapon, it's a gift.
The weapon is their language. They gave it all to us. Do you understand what that means?
Because Louise actually works with them and tries to understand them, the heptapods give her access to the entire knowledge of their language, a gift of early thanks for humans coming to the heptapods' rescue 3,000 years in the future. Our next category is visual storytelling. The cinematography, editing, the form, or style. How do the visuals tell and elevate the story? Arrival's visuals are much more calm and muted than we might at first expect from an alien sci-fi film, but that was, of course, intentional. From the regular college classrooms and offices, to the quickly thrown together military tent city, most everything we experience is decidedly normal and human. This isn't a tale of far-off adventure, it's about human beings right here on Earth. While we imagine first contact as being some fantastical thing, the reality is that it will likely be much more like this. A lot of regular people doing regular work to make connections and figure things out. And the naturalistic cinematography and relatable settings help hit home the human element of the film, and also serve to make the contrast between our world and what we get to see of the heptapods feel even more stark. The heptapod ships aren't huge discs covered in lights as alien ships are often depicted. Instead, they look almost natural, like impossibly giant floating pieces of coal dwarfing everything around them. This is another bridge between us and them. They're unlike us, but not so unlike us that we can't find a point of connection. But these megaships, just like their interview rooms inside, are also hard to read at first. They lack many recognizable features, and so you have to look deeper to really understand what's going on. And of course, their sheer size also represents the urgency of their message. It is impossible to ignore. Truly understanding a language, even a regular Earth language, is about more than just recognizing symbols. It also requires being able to fully grasp the underlying meaning and intent behind those symbols, and the ability to put it all into context.
Purpose requires an understanding of intent. We need to find out, do they make conscious choices? And biggest of all, we need to have enough vocabulary with them that we understand their answer.
The heptapod's writing style allows us to better understand their entire concept of time and life itself through its format. The look isn't just through circumstance, it's the very essence of their language itself.
Unlike all written human languages, their writing is semasiographic. It conveys meaning. It doesn't represent sound.
And while it is mysterious, it is able to be understood if one is willing to put in the time and effort. And our final category to discuss is impact. Has the piece sparked debate, thought, and conversation? And has its influence managed to stand the test of time? Arrival is an important rumination on the importance of not only communication, but understanding, and on not being blinded by a desired or feared future, or stuck in the past, but focused more on the full experience of life in its totality. The heptapods also knew how important it is that we as humans all learn to work together. That's why they split their message into 12 parts, to force us to get along and work as a group to figure it out.
In their final session, the aliens said, "There is no time. Many become one."
If we want to have any hope of making it into a brighter future, we need to heed the heptapod's advice and begin looking more deeply at how we communicate, and opening ourselves up to new ways to build deeper connections. That's the take. Click here to watch the video we think you'll love, or here to check out a whole playlist of awesome content. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.